Hey everyone, I'm back again with Gabe, aka Fuhat, and today we're going to talk about PayPal and all the disruption happening in the financial payments industry. So, with that, welcome back, Gabe. How's it going?
Oh yeah, yep. Oh yeah, yeah. It's going good. It's going good. It's always a pleasure to be back here. Definitely talk about more stock slash disruption in the space.
Yeah, for sure. And I noticed like PayPal is like at only 20% of its former high stock price. Like it was at like $308 back in summer 2021 and now it's like $60 a share. So what's going on with PayPal?
Well, PayPal's been having a little bit of issues, like a little bit of issues with their main core business, and then of course they try to become an all-in-one app with the buy later, pay now, buy later program that we can talk about too if you want. They've been making a new segment of the business, which is very interesting to compete with Stripe. And of course, you have Elliott, Elliott Investments taking a stake, then leaving. And of course, you have the new CEO coming in too. Through Intuit, through the small business and stuff loans to come in and
Okay.
actually do
Wow,
things.
there's so much to talk about. Okay, so why don't we start off with kind of the bad news first and then work our way to the good news of like what's going on. So bad news, why did PayPal tank as a stock?
They had some misguidance slash the payment volume went down. The payment volume went down, and the long-term value of transactions went down. Slash mean they ain't gonna take much more of a fee. But after I did a little bit more digging with me and my friends, essentially, we figured out that due to a new segment called Braintree, it's gonna come down more naturally, and it's gonna come down more naturally, but the volume will increase, but the less they would get from each transaction because it's not really PayPal's main service; it's the Braintree service that is competing with with like the likes of Stripe.
Okay, so how is it explain that a little bit more about what PayPal is trying to do and what is Braintree?
Braintree is B2B, so it's just business to business, specifically for vendors. So you would not interact with it on your everyday checkout, except for just paying with PayPal, because PayPal owns Braintree, but Braintree acts as a separate entity. To put in perspective, Braintree is a sizable business. I think it's like 3 billion now, just off of size within PayPal, and it's the largest growing segment. And yeah, it's they work with vendors, and then it integrates extremely well. So if you get Braintree, you get the wholesale payment, you get PayPal ecosystem as a vendor.
Okay, and you're
Yeah,
saying
but
sorry,
no.
and you're saying that their volume went down, but how much they're charging per transaction is going up?
Yes, yes, yeah. The white label volume, like for Venmo, the original PayPal and stuff like that, went down, but this payment tree is coming in to uh most likely eclipse it. So it will come down more, but they're getting essentially more efficient. They're getting more efficient transaction speeds. Not only transaction speeds, it's more or less efficient transaction grabs because it's a whole entire new marketplace they've entered now.
Okay, so there is PayPal kind of focusing more in the B2B space or still kind of like holding steady in the consumer spending space? Because I know PayPal used to be the arm of eBay, and they used to be together and then they got spun out. And
Mhm.
like back in the day, it seemed like PayPal was like a really big deal. Like I remember when PayPal first came out, it was really useful, even though in the really beginning there used to be a lot of fraud. So like one time someone tried to like use my account to like buy something and it definitely wasn't me. But like eventually PayPal got to be really good and useful. But then you had all these other kind of competitors come up like Stripe and Venmo and everything else. So like what do you think really explains like why PayPal is still kind of suffering after several quarters since their high in like 2 summers ago?
Well, to be honest, dude, the pandemic ended. The pandemic ended, so like that was less spending from home. They have really stiff competition from Cash App. So they're kind of getting attacked from that end because PayPal owns Venmo. So they're competing with Cash App. And then the only thing you can really do on Venmo is buy crypto. And they need to make PayPal into an everything one app. Just to put an idea, like I don't understand why PayPal hasn't done it, but Cash App has it. They can add stocks.
Ah,
Like they can add stocks to PayPal. That would be a great addition to do it. Um, Other than that, that's been about it for that, of course, from like the consumer side. They haven't exited the consumer side of the business yet. It's just the B2B segment is just gonna like clips it in growth.
okay. Yeah, I didn't realize PayPal owns Venmo, so thanks for the tip. But it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it almost feels like PayPal is a little bit behind the times. Like it used to be useful, and I remember on eBay, a lot of the merchants would be like, "We only accept PayPal. Like, don't send us a money order." Like, it used to be the it thing, and now, like you said, people could use Cash App, and I'm not sure. I still use Venmo. Like, I've never used Cash App yet, so I don't know what that's like, but I'm assuming consumers have plenty of alternatives. I mean, in addition to Cash App, I'm sure they use all kinds of other stuff. And I'm not sure if Apple Pay and Google Pay are direct competitors to PayPal,
Yes,
but
they are.
those they're also on the rise, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Google Play and Meta Pay and Apple Pay are direct competitors to that. Um, Another big competitor, which a lot of people don't realize, is owned by the banks, would be Zelle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. So like almost like PayPal used to have a good market share, but it's like kind of been whittled away by all these newer competitors. And like it's kind of like where like maybe PayPal is starting to lose some of its, place in the market. Like it used to be useful, but now it's sort of starting to be less relevant. Like I don't even remember the last time I used PayPal because when I like say buy something on eBay, I just directly put the credit card. I don't even have to use PayPal anymore. So it's like what's kind of the point of PayPal in a way? So like it in some ways like it's become less necessary maybe. I don't know if you use PayPal much.
I didn't use PayPal much. I use Venmo, but what you notice and is as an industry is it's becoming a race to the bottom.
Uh-huh.
So PayPal is getting their margins crushed. Not really like crushed, but like encroached on. And then they're getting the market share encroached on too. And then the only thing I can really think of like that I've used PayPal recently is before like would be
Uh-huh.
international exchange. That would be like the only thing of a big thing.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, there's some utility there probably still, but like with isn't Stripe also a B2B kind of entity more so? So is Stripe a
Mhm.
direct competitor of Braintree?
Yes, yes. Stripe is a direct competitor to Braintree. Stripe is a B2B, strictly a B2B still. Maybe once they go public, they actually get into the consumer side.
Yeah,
But
but maybe, if they have a good niche in the B2B, they don't need to. And if I'm not sure how well known Braintree is, but like I remember seeing Stripe, like kind of for use in business purposes, like it seems like I don't know how much market share Stripe has, but they seem to have a little bit more brand recognition, I think, than maybe Braintree does. So hard to say. I don't know like how much PayPal is able to keep up, but like that'd be kind of interesting to see if Stripe kind of outdoes or continues maybe outdoing the competition. I don't know, but I'm guessing they're one of the top ones around.
Yes. Yeah. It's Stripe, Braintree, and then there's another really big one that I'm blanking on his name.
Okay.
But with like my personal use of Stripe that I have seen, they can use it on Discord to
Uh-huh.
set members' prices and stuff. And that'd be like the only way that I've interacted with Stripe yet.
Hmm.
From from my experience. I haven't done it from like a business end yet.
Yeah, but it seems pretty straightforward, I'm guessing.
Yes, yeah. From my understanding, Stripe's a very simple product.
Oh, that's good. And so what about buy now and pay later? I think you were mentioning PayPal is also
Mhm.
kind of involved in that space.
They have exited that space,
Oh, really?
which I'm happy. I'm happy for they exited that space, so they would lower the credit risk because them loans are extremely risky.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up selling that book to the asset manager KKR, which
Mm-hmm.
I personally liked, and KKR just kind of just got the loans. So they were like decent loans, but I appreciate PayPal from divesting from that activity.
Maybe there's like too much kind of involved. Like I think I saw ads for Klarna. I think Klarna was one of them. I've never done it myself, but it seems like from what I've heard that that's a very slippery slope. Like it's kind of hard to have good margins in that business maybe, and it's sort of relying on the consumer to actually like make do on their payments, and that can get a little tricky. So it seems like it's been a bit of a struggle. All the people, like you were kind of mentioning, it's a race to the bottom of trying to get customers maybe. And so, what do you think going forward with how PayPal's bringing in a new CEO and stuff? What do you think that is making a difference in?
It's making a difference in the direction of the company, as you can see with Braintree and stuff like that. Um, he's definitely gonna bring in a new era of PayPal. Um, it's been deemed as being called like your grandpa's FinTech from some YouTubers. I don't know if he's a grandpa's FinTech anymore, but it's definitely one of the oldest FinTechs around the block, as you can tell.
Hmm.
I think it's been around since I think it's now been like 20 years with the X.com inclusion, and that was owned by, of course, Elon Musk, and then you have everything else, everyone else that showed up in the end of it, the PayPal Mafia. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yeah, I think I heard about. Wasn't Peter Thiel part of that?
Yep, Peter was part of that. The head of a firm was a part of that too. I think some of the Facebook guys are on there too.
Hmm.
And then they went on their own separate ventures, of course. And
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure Chamath was on there too. I'm just not
Oh
positive
yeah.
about that.
Oh really? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like it seemed like PayPal used to have so much going for it, and now it's like slightly forgotten about, like it's slightly fallen from grace. So, like, I feel like I haven't studied PayPal very closely to know how good of a business it is or not overall, but it seems like maybe with the new CEO coming in, that it would be a good idea to kind of like focus in on some more of the core businesses instead of diversifying into new business ventures like buy now, pay later types. So instead of doing all random fintech stuff, doing what they do best, like in Braintree and the core PayPal business. So maybe some of that, like if they can, show good continued growth in some of the core businesses, maybe that will reinstill investor faith in it. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. If they continue on the core businesses, they probably attract more institutional investors, and then after that, you can see a rise in the stock price. It's just that PayPal needs to prove themselves as the street again, which
Yeah,
is a very weird thing to think about, given the history of PayPal.
yeah. But it seems like for some reason, normally dominant companies, they solidify more of their market share. Like I'm sure Coca-Cola just kept getting bigger and American Express is still pretty huge. So it's no wonder Warren Buffett has held on to those stocks. They kept on getting bigger, but it felt like American Express, overall has been on an upward trajectory over the last few decades, but like PayPal has sort of stumbled. So it's kind of like I'm not saying that PayPal is the same like American Express, but they're both kind of like financial related companies. And yet PayPal doesn't seem to have as good of a moat, like to use a Buffett term, of a durable competitive advantage, unlike American Express. So kind of like, are there just too many competitors kind of chipping away at PayPal, like what PayPal used to be good at? And, kind of like, can PayPal do enough to like prove itself, like, or is it like kind of the playing field that they're playing in, they just don't have enough to be able to grab onto? Like I'm trying to figure out what is their, if they can even make it back to their former glory days.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah. With all the competition and stuff like that, they have been getting whittled down, but I can see it. I can see it coming back to its former glory. Is just not going to be from the consumer end. It's going to be more from like Braintree and all them ventures.
I see. And maybe if they were offering similar maybe offerings like Cash App does, or like kind of
Mm.
doing what competitors did, but doing it better and more reliable, or maybe even somehow reducing their fees to try to lure in business. But I know that you can't reduce your fees too much, otherwise you won't really make money. But I don't know what it takes, but it seems kind of precarious in the financial services area, like especially fintech, because it just feels like so much is changing, and also with the added complexity of crypto possibilities, doesn't that seem like kind of like really broad as far as like how the fintech industry could be transformed?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, as you will see throughout your whole entire lifetimes, with the exception of the digital dollar and how it would be actually implemented into the U.S. economy slash the banks. Um, you would definitely see a little paradigm shift in banking, so that will affect like PayPal's and all these fintechs. But with saying this, don't expect it to be rolling out like in the next like 3 years, because
Hmm.
it's still very new, and it still has to get tested. But a lot of the major institutions already have came out with crypto and Pacific. Fidelity's already came out and said they made their own network. JP Morgan made their own whole entire new coin, which I'm tempted to test out. Um, BlackRock's trying to get the Bitcoin ETF to finally get through. Um, of course, you have the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF too, trying to get through too.
Yeah.
Um, def Definitely that you would definitely see evolution within how you think about money and like how we interact with money on a physical day to day.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
it just seems like so much is going on, and it's like it's hard to see who's going to be the winner out of all of this. And like what if there's like Mark Zuckerberg coin, right? Like if Meta is getting involved with all the payment stuff and like I thought I heard at one point that Facebook was trying to push like its own crypto or something. Is that true or did I just hear it wrong?
Um, I don't know if they pushed on crypto, but I can give you color on the payments. Meta payment is a thing. It's in a thing, V3 marketplace. And then if you go into the WhatsApp too, if you go into like the local Indian economy, they use WhatsApp as their main transactor.
Oh wow. Well,
So
that's
they
kind of
have,
useful. That's kind of like isn't that like WeChat or one of those in China,
yep.
like a similar
Mhm.
kind of thing that they're doing?
Yeah, WhatsApp is essentially their everything app, and it's not really talked about because it's very us Americans just don't use it.
Well, in America, like I think of WhatsApp, to share pictures and files. Like I'm not about to pay someone with WhatsApp, so I've never done that. Or I don't even know if it's available in America. Is it?
The payments isn't, but the way that Facebook is implemented was they implemented WhatsApp in different regions because like if you go to let's just go like the EU and stuff like that, they tend to use WhatsApp as their main communication
Hmm.
instead of us using like Snapchat, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that in Europe because European data plans are still like surprisingly expensive. Like unlike America where we have unlimited everything and it's not so expensive, it's like way more expensive in Europe. So for some reason, I don't know why. Like it's really counterintuitive how come Europe is so like not telecom friendly to a lot of like the massive people that live in Europe. So like I can see why WhatsApp has been super adopted that can just communicate for free on Wi-Fi. Like that's the better way to go usually.
But definitely, yeah. And then with all that, yeah, that's been about it. I was thinking if I have like my final thoughts on PayPal, it's a very interesting business. It's not like in the too hard pile, but it's very hard to predict the future. Definitely with the main one of the main players being still private. So
Yeah.
you can't really see the numbers.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe PayPal itself is not too difficult, but what makes it for me, I might put it in my too hard pile because I don't know what, like you just said, to predict the future, what's going to happen with everybody else trying to compete in this space. And, like sometimes even if you have institutions doing stuff, like I heard Goldman Sachs's consumer venture was kind of a flop. Like they
Oh
were
yeah, it
trying to
was.
get people to, open up savings accounts and that, I think they did some kind of partnership with Apple too. Like whatever that was, like people didn't seem into it. So like even if you have some kind of legacy players, it doesn't mean that whatever their venture that they try is going to be successful. But it'd be interesting to see if some of the, whoever it is, whether it's a legacy or a new player, can figure out something that people actually do find really useful. And then they'll keep, maybe Apple Pay is like going to be the thing that replaces PayPal for consumers at some point. Like who knows if Apple Pay will take over everything at some point. Like I don't know, but that's just like something I'm sort of wondering about is it still kind of feels like the Wild West in like financial evolution of how we think of money, like you said.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can comment on the absolute buffoonery at Goldman Sachs. So what they did was they're assuming alms center was called Marcus,
Hmm.
and then their goal was to get like you not really like your lower end customer, but like your upper middle echelon customer and get just like a basic just get like a basic bank essentially. And then they did the segment with Apple, and then they had to divest from that because it just went so bad.
Oh
And
wow.
then they took all the risk from all of that onto their book, Goldman's book, instead of having put it on their book,
Hmm.
instead of Apple's book, which was a
Oh.
very interesting thing to do, given the prestige of the form.
Hmm.
And then after that, they just kind of shut down Marcus slash killed vast majority of Marcus. And
Hmm.
now now I have like my own theory that the CEO might finally get fired.
Well, who knows? But like maybe Goldman thought like, oh, this is so easy, people will flock to us. Like kind of like the theory, like if you build it, they will come, but
Hmm?
that doesn't always happen. So, that there's been a lot of failed ventures throughout history because of that mentality, like, oh, obviously everybody will want to be part of this next greatest thing, but maybe it was some important person's pet project and everybody hated it, and like maybe there was a lot of infighting about how to implement it and roll it out. So who knows? I don't know anything about it, so I'm not trying to speak ill of whatever they did, but it's just an example that we as investors should be careful about, new exciting things coming online. Like we think it could be awesome, like it could be useful, but we like we have to sort of separate the benefit to us as consumers from the mindset of an investor, like kind of how it affects everybody. Like sometimes like the benefits to us as a consumer are synchronized with the benefits to investors, but not always. Like if, as much as, let's say I love PayPal and I always use it for everything, but if I was an investor in PayPal, I might be kicking myself if I bought it 2 summers ago and I'm not invested in PayPal. But just as an example, like I could be so wrong as an investor if I thought PayPal was going to be, really the leader in the fintech disruption, but it turns out it got disrupted instead, like kind of like the table got flipped. So yeah, I mean, super fascinating. I appreciate that you shared your insights, Gabe, about PayPal and what's going
Yeah,
on with
definitely.
these different companies in the mix. And maybe we'll talk about some more of this in the future. It's kind of like things that develop and come online. And it'd be interesting to kind of keep tabs on what is happening with using blockchain, and if any legacy financial institution has successfully adopted blockchain tech. Because I feel like some of the coin stuff can get a little bit, you know like a little bit overwhelming. Like I've never dabbled in crypto stuff, so to me I'm a little bit ignorant of whatever's happening there. But if you can get like a trustworthy company that can roll out something that people feel safe in, maybe that could bring more people across the divide of people who are using old banking stuff, and then entering the new world of banking that relies on blockchain. So wouldn't that be cool?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely urge you to look into the JPM coin, the JP
Hmm.
Morgan coin, because that's like the best I've seen that's been done properly. But I
Hmm.
still don't know. I think it's a stable coin, so it's always pegged to the dollar, but I just don't know if it's fluid. I don't know if the
like
price is like
like when you say
like I
fluid, what does that mean?
so like how I would describe fluid would be like you can exchange your JPM coin into straight into your checking account. You can exchange JPM coin straight into the savings account, but I'm assuming it has to be in the JPM system. So
Oh,
you
like
can and
fungible.
can yeah.
Oh, so being like fungible, like kind of like it makes me think of their rewards points, like when you get Chase rewards from using the credit card, and then it's like 1 point is 1 penny. So like if they had a JPM coin, if it's truly fungible, like equivalent to real like government backed money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I've seen, from what I've seen just very briefly, I'm assuming it's pegged to the dollar, of course, given the fact it's JP Morgan, they have that power.
Yeah.
Given how given how big they are.
So you were saying like given Chase's.
Yeah, given like JP Morgan's size slash stance in the financial industry, I think it could be a very interesting development to see what actually comes out of the JP Morgan coin.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe they'll gradually start rolling it out, like instead of, their rewards points, maybe that will replace that. And then now all of a sudden, we used to think we're dealing with imaginary points, but now it's like they're sort of like crypto points. I don't know, like kind of it'd be interesting
Yeah.
how they try to introduce that to consumers.
Well, it's already out, so you can test it. That's how I learned about it.
But like you
And
could you could like say you could give me JPM coin and I could give you JPM coin, like we could
mhm.
exchange it like that.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's fully active because they'll advertise it on the website.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah,
haven't
like
seen it yet. But like really fascinating. I'll have to look into that more and see, what could be the practical applications of it because, there's so many things that sound cool and whatever, but then like they sometimes fall flat because people don't immediately need it. Like I know Apple Pay has been around for a long time, but it's only recently that they started gaining more momentum. So like, yeah, sometimes things take a while for consumers to adopt.
oh yeah, definitely, yeah, that too. And you might just need a new generation too.
Yeah.
Is more adaptive to the product slash like not like being more open to the idea of not carrying cash.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, awesome. Well, we talked so much about everything ranging from PayPal to JP Morgan, Chase, and their coin. And I think there's a lot of exciting stuff. And this has been really awesome to talk about like all the financial industry disruption stuff. So thank you so much, Gabe, for all your insights. And I look forward to talking with you again about more fun stuff in the stock market.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, bye.
Bye.